We got some rather unfortunate and very disturbing news regarding the Olympics. Well, one man who used to be a swimmer for the Olympics. So, former Olympian swimmer from Australia, Scott Miller, has been arrested off of drug trafficking. Nate, this is something, man. Like, let me explain this to you.
Oh man.
So he was taken into custody Tuesday and has been charged with drug trafficking after he was part of a drug ring which involved valued $2 million worth of methamphetamines. I gotta be honest with you, Nate. He's 45 years old. Um, he's 45 years old, and there was a 47-year-old man who has not been named on Tuesday. And Miller was the director of a criminal syndicate. So you know what, Nate?
Uh,
I'll start off with you. You go first. And before I say anything else, this was the source for this was ESPN's Associated Press. So I'll start off with you, Nate. Your thoughts.
look, man. Look, man. I know the day starting off right when we got a hot topic, hot mic time, baby. Look, man. I don't understand why you're doing this. All right, you're a professional athlete. You went to the Olympics. You won the gold medal. You did all this stuff. What?
He's not a
Why
gold
are you
medal.
doing?
He's
You
not a
didn't win
gold
a gold
medal
medal
winner.
or whatever. Well, you still went to
He's
the
a
Olympics anyway.
former Olympian, which is still an accomplishment to be an
Yeah,
Olympian.
you're doing all this stuff, right? Why? You're already set for life. You went to the Olympics. Probably got some 2 mil off that. Why? Why are you doing this? I don't like it when athletes do this stuff. I don't like when anybody does it. To be real with you, I just don't think it's right. So like, I understand that there are some people that come up very rough and like on the streets and all that, the hoods, whatever you people want to call it these days. Some people in the ghettos and all that, they resort to that stuff because that's really all the money that they can get selling drugs, which I pity them for. But like, and even then, I don't condone. I just don't condone it stuff at all, whether it's your only option or not. But when you're a professional athlete, an Olympic, mind you, an Olympic athlete, mind you, and you're doing like, why, man? What's the point? And meth? He was shipping meth. You know what meth does to you? Like that, and $2 million worth of meth. That's more. That's more money than what my family's worth. I could do so much for $2 million. This dude's over here selling meth for 2 mil. I don't know, man. This personally, I I don't like it when people do this at all. It doesn't matter who you are, but I hate it the most when athletes do it because I said it on the show and I will continue to say it for as long as this stuff happens. You are a professional athlete. Kids look up to you. Other athletes or future pro athletes look up to you. Your family, your friends look up to you. Then you go out and do stuff like that. That is why I do not like it when celebrities and athletes or whatever do this stuff the most. Like I hate it altogether, but I can't stand it when people on the higher up do that. Because you think about it. You're doing all this, and you think about all these other people that would absolutely kill to have the opportunities that you have in your life, and you're going out here and selling drugs. You're selling meth for $2 million. You know how much money a homeless gentleman can do with that. Well, how many things he can buy with that kind of money, and you're out here selling it, selling meth for $2 million. It's absolutely ridiculous, man. Like I hate it when athletes do this stuff the most because you do all this stuff, all these people looking up to you, and all these people would kill to have the things that you have in your life, and you go off and blow it like that. It's just a damn shame, man. It really is, and I don't know and I don't know what Scott Miller's going through in his life right now, honestly, because sometimes some people do it because it's a last resort, like I said before, and I pity them for that. Sometimes some people come up real rough, and that's just their last resort. But I don't personally. That's why I'm saying I don't know what he's going through. So I don't know if he's at a low point in his life or he's just doing it because that's just his hobby or whatever. I don't know what it is. But what I'm saying is I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed this dude was even an Olympic athlete because look at all the opportunities you're taking away from people. Look at what you're doing. It's messed up. I don't know, man. I don't got anything else to say.
Yeah, look, obviously I completely agree with 100% of everything you just said. You know what I'm saying? This is an Olympian. This is a man who was one of the best in his country at what he did, and because of that, he earned the right to go to the Olympics and end up representing his country in his swimming team. Obviously, that's what he did, but I completely agree with you. I just want to say this is 2 million Australian dollars, which is equivalent to 1.6 million US dollars. So it is really a shame to see, Nate. It really is. Like, But there's one thing I want to say, okay? Police are accusing him and they're alleging it, which means it's not 100% fully true. Okay? They're accusing and they're alleging. So until we get like a final verdict, like this man's guilty, even some, and you know, the criminal justice system sometimes screws up. Obviously, there are people who go to jail for doing something that they did not do. You know what I'm saying? So that happens, but until we can actually figure it out, until we have proof, there's still a possibility there's still a possibility Scott Miller might walk free. I don't know. Okay, we have to see what his plea is. We have to see if he admits. We have to see if they have real hard evidence on it, which they said they seized drugs, which is a piece of evidence. But we're gonna focus on him getting arrested. First of all, you must have been with some shady characters if you were even alleged with this. You know what I'm saying? Despite whether you did it or not, you had to be with some shady characters. And I mean, I got to be real with you. As an former Australian Olympic athlete, you can't be with those types of people. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in general should be with those types of people. Okay? Because I got to be honest with you, Nate. Like, this happens more than you think. You know what I'm saying? We didn't talk about it in the show, which I wish we did, but there were three colleges. Well, it really didn't have anything to do with sports, but there were three colleges college students who were involved in working with the Mexican cartel. It was UNC, Duke, and I think App State. Like I think that was the third one, App State. But there were students in those colleges who were working with the Mexican drug cartel, and they got arrested. And that's serious stuff right there, because that is a very dangerous cartel to work for. And I'm not sure how big the people he was working for are, but look, when you're able to get 2 million Australian dollars off of what you're doing, then it must have been pretty big. Which is the reason why I'm trying to say is, look, this is a lesson to everybody out here. Okay, do not get into this type of business. Okay, it is a wrong way to make money. You do it cleanly, and you earn your money the hard way. Because when you earn it the hard way, you appreciate it much more. Okay, anybody can get a drug and text somebody, I got a drug, and then end up giving it to him. Anybody can do that. That okay? Anybody can do that. It takes hard work to actually do it the right way, to build yourself from the ground up. So look, that's what I'm gonna end it off of, Nate. You know what I'm saying? I really don't want to talk about this right now because this is honestly, it's a shame. It really is. It's a disgrace to the Olympics itself. You know, a guy like this should not be doing these types of actions, and because of it, he's in some serious trouble. Even if he didn't do it, even if somehow he's not guilty, you're hanging around these people. Like your name, you must have been associated with them in some way for your name to be there. You know what I'm saying? It isn't like go there, seize 2 million Australian dollars worth of methamphetamines and be like, oh, that's Scott Miller's. No, they have to have a reason why they're accusing you for it. You know what I'm saying? So there's two lessons here for people to be learning. Okay, hang out with the right people. Don't get into this type of shady business. Do the right things. Okay, because if not, you're gonna be in a serious trouble as Scott Miller was. So, I mean, with that being said, if there's ever an update on this, we will let you guys know. And yeah, just make the right choices. That's the best thing we can say to you right now.
Right, and I just want to touch up on one more thing about these shady businesses and the reason why. Well, I think Mario has a little bit of a different reason. I'm not so sure, but the reason why I don't encourage you guys to do it, obviously, because it's messed up. But especially in like gangs and like drug businesses, drug cartels, whatever, all the shady businesses. The number one reason why I say not to join it is because once you join, you're there to stay. If you try to escape, if you try to overload an overload or whatever you call it, a mission or whatever, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna kill you.
Right,
Or they're gonna
right,
do other things to you,
and
man.
obviously, like how like dangerous the people you're working for are. Obviously, that's a factor, but most of them are
Absolutely.
very dangerous. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And I'm going back to these college kids because the reason why we didn't talk about because they weren't athletes, they were college kids, and the reason why we're talking about this is because those kids really are screwed. You're going to prison. You can't rat them out. You know what I'm saying? You can't say who it is because the second they find out, they're coming for you.
Yeah,
Despite whether you're in prison or not, they're coming for you. It's like
absolutely.
they're that dangerous. But he had obviously I don't think he's worked with. I think the Mexican cartel is the most dangerous like drug cartel there is. But the
I agree.
cartel he was working with too, they must have been they must have obviously they made a lot of profit off of it, so they were getting a lot of business, which means the more business you get, most likely the more dangerous they end up becoming because you have a lot more to lose if you get caught. And now Scott Miller's caught. So honestly, the only thing, well, here's what I'm expecting. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but here's what I'm expecting. Scott Miller is going to enter a guilty plea. Whether he was innocent or not, he's going to enter that guilty plea.
Who was
What?
around those people.
Right. Well, here's what I'll say. If he was associated with it in any way, he's going to enter that guilty plea. Because if he doesn't, if he says not guilty and or if he says guilty and starts ratting him out, I mean, look, pray for his soul because I don't know how dangerous the people he was working with are, but look, I really can't say anything. I don't know how dangerous they are, but I mean, they must have had a lot of power if they were, again, 2 million Australian dollars. Think about like that. It's I don't know how dangerous they were, Nate, but that was very powerful. Those were some very powerful people he was working with. And so, with that being said, that's what I expect. I expect him to enter a guilty plea, whether he's innocent or not. Okay, if he's innocent, he had nothing to do with them. Then yeah, that's the only way I can see him getting going into a non-guilty plea. But again, you have to be somewhat guilty of something because your name was connected. You know what I'm saying? Unless they got names mixed up and they thought it was you or whatever. That sometimes happens too. They get names mixed up and faces or whatever. That stuff happens on occasions too. But your name was connected to it, which is the reason why, or they are accusing you. They're just not, you know what I'm saying? They're not just accusing you for no reason. They have some type of information that they're using to accuse you of. So I expect Scott Miller to enter a guilty plea. And so, with that being said, there's really nothing else for me to talk about. Nate, if you want to say anything else, please share with us. But if not, just make the right decision, people.